What's up, friends? Today I thought I'd go over this Qwiklabs with you. This is a pretty basic one. This is the Getting Started with Cloud Shell and Gcloud. I really enjoy Cloud Shell. It's one of my favorite things about GCP, and I think this is a lab that's worth doing if you're a beginner, you're getting used to, learning cloud and creating resources in the cloud. Maybe this is something you want to try. Gcloud, they make their free trial pretty accessible. If you go to their website, you immediately get $300 worth of free credits to kind of play around and do your thing. So we're talking about Cloud Shell today, and just a quick overview of Cloud Shell is that it's a Debian-based virtual machine. So it's not just a command line, it's actually a machine. It has some storage, it has 5 gigs of persistent storage, and it runs with the Gcloud command line. And once you pick up the command lines, it's really easy to create resources and have some fun in there. So I've already logged into the kind of the sandbox account, and the first task is basically going to be to we'll come down here, is we're going to be configuring our environment. So you can see that, Gcloud is split up into regions and zones. You've got, your Western US zones, Central US, Eastern, Western Europe, Eastern Asia, and they're all kind of formatted similar to this. And this is a similar formatting to the AWS regions, slightly different, but very similar. So what we're going to be doing first is we're going to be setting up our environment variables. So let's get started in the Cloud Shell. So we'll come over to the account and activate the Cloud Shell. It's up here. We're going to hit continue and then let that authorize. So now that that's all spun up, they're asking us to kind of see what the values are for the zone and the region in this account. So to check that, we're going to be running gcloud config get value compute/zone. So we can just copy that and put that in the shell. And we can see that it's unset. So our zone is not set for this account. And we'll do the same thing for the region, which is gcloud config get value compute/region. And this is also not set. So we'll come down here, and they're asking us to kind of list all the metadata about this account. And we're going to do that with this script right here, which is gcloud compute project info describe project and then the project ID. So we'll copy, just copy up to here. Paste that here, and then you can actually find the project ID up here right next to the Google Cloud Platform logo. Click that, and then you'll see your project name, and then your project ID is right next to it. So just grab that, paste it, and hit enter. Authorize this, and it's going to spit out all sorts of information for you. So what we're looking for is the zone and the region here. So it's up here. You can see we're in US Central 1A for our zone, and our region is US Central 1. So let's grab all of this information here and just like copy it to a notepad somewhere, because we're going to come back to this later. And you can see like it's listing out all the different services and everything that's in your account. So when you do start creating resources, that'll be a really useful command to kind of take a look at everything going on in your account. So the next thing we're going to do is we're setting the environment variables. So we're setting our project ID to the actual project ID. We're going to be setting our zone, and this comes in really handy when you start making resources in the command line. So let's do our project ID first. So we're just going to grab export project ID equals, paste that in there. We'll grab the project ID again. And paste that there. And then we're going to do that for our zone. So we're going to export zone. And what was our zone again? It was US Central 1A. Just paste that in there. And make sure you have the zone and not the region, because it'll mess you up further down in the lab. And then we can check, that we've kind of configured this properly by running an echo. So we'll do it for the project ID. And you can see our Qwiklabs project is there. And let's do it for the zone. And we're in the Central 1A zone. So now we're going to be creating a virtual machine with the Gcloud tool. And this is the just basic command here. We're doing Gcloud compute instances create. This is going to be the name of the server. This is the machine type flag. That's the machine type. And then we have the zone tag. And then we're just going to be inputting the zone. So instead of writing out the zone, we can just throw that that variable there. So let's copy all of this. Well, yeah, we can copy all of this and paste this. And then this will cook up an instance for us. And so, it already cooked up. But just a quick tip, the syntax for a lot of these commands are Gcloud, the service name, the collection, the verb, and then the parameter. So you would have Gcloud, and Gcloud is, G is always lowercase. The service name, so compute, the collection, instances, the verb, create, and then your parameters. So the name, the machine type, and then the zone. So if you can remember that, you can kind of remember a lot of these commands. So Gcloud, service name, collection, verb, and then your parameters. And so this is the information for our server that we just made in the command line. And we can actually look up here and see it in the console. And it's right there. And then they kind of give you a breakdown of the command line too. So the Gcloud compute allows you to manage your compute engine. The instance is creates a new instance. This is the name of the VM. This flag specifies the machine type. This zone flag specifies where the VM is created. So there you have it. So we'll check our progress here, and we should be in the green. So if you want to know more about the create command, you can run this in the Cloud Shell, and it'll kind of open up some options for you. So we can explore some more of the Gcloud commands. So we're going to do Gcloud-H, and then that should bring up some help for you. And then this is kind of groups and tags and, you know, all of that information. Or you can run the Gcloud config help. And then it's way more detailed because it gives you kind of a breakdown of what the flags are, information on groups, a little bit more about, you know, commands. It's more of a manual. So to get out of here, we're just going to type Q. I think that's, yeah, just type Q. The uppercase, lowercase, doesn't matter. So we've run Gcloud config help. Now, you know, we can also check out the Gcloud Help config and see what that spits out. And it's pretty similar. It's the same thing. And we'll just do Q and go back to that main screen. So these are kind of some commands to take a look at what's in your environment. So we can do Gcloud config list, and this lists all of the configurations. I typed that right. And there's not much going on in here. It's just telling us the account name, the environment, the project, disable usage reporting. So this is a sandbox account, so we don't really have a lot of permissions. So the usage reporting is disabled. Metadata timeout. So this is just, if you had more resource in here, it would probably spit out more information for you. And then to see all the properties in here, we'll run Gcloud config list and then put that all tag in there. And then this is just, you know, everything in there. Most of these are unset because we don't have anything in here. And then to list our components, we can do the Gcloud components list. And look at all this stuff. This is all the components we have in here. Most of them are not installed. The ones that are installed are directly involved in the Gcloud commands. So you can see we have Python extensions, kubectl, minikube. So these are basically all of Gcloud's capabilities here that have been installed. The rest of them, you'd have to install them yourself. So we're going to be installing a new component now, and we're going to do that with the sudo apt-get install Google Cloud SDK. Sudo just gives you elevated privileges in Linux. So we'll just paste that. And let that download. And then this is gonna let us try out the Gcloud beta interactive mode. So we'll see. I don't enjoy this one very much. I like just the regular Gcloud, but we'll take a look at this. So that's done. And now we're gonna try out the interactive version, and it's just telling us that this has auto suggestions and inline help. You can tab, you can up arrow, down arrow, space. And this is like, if you're one of those people that love I can't speak. Visual Studio or Microsoft Visual Studio, it's, really interactive and intuitive. I don't care for this too much, so I will get out of here with F9 if it works. So we're actually testing out this interactive Cloud Shell by pasting in a describe command. So we did Gcloud compute instances describe space, and we're going to try and tab our way to the name of our VM. Actually, that's pretty convenient because I did not remember the name of this VM. And then we hit enter, and it's asking you, did you mean zone 1C for this instance? And no. And now it's spitting out a bunch of commands. So since we didn't specify the zone, it's using the US Central 1A zone. That's where our instance is. This is actually the name of our instance, Gcloud 2. And it just spit out all the information regarding this instance. So we just typed exit there to get out of that, and now we're back in kind of the main part of the shell. And now we're going to be doing task 3, which is to connect your VM instance with SSH. So we're going to do that by running the Gcloud compute SSH Gcloud 2, that's the name of our instance, and then we're going to let them input our zone. So we're going to do that now. And it's giving us some warning about the key, but this is a lab. We're not going to enter a passphrase. And we have now successfully SSH'd into this instance. Is this not nice? This is so great. This is my favorite part about the Cloud Shell. So convenient. So we've SSH'd. To get out of here, we're going to just type exit. And that'll kick us out of that server. Connection is now closed. And we're back on our main command prompt. So now we're going to be kind of moving around the home directory for task 4. So we're changing out of the current directory. We're doing cd home. So we're going to type that there. Did I do it right? And then we're going to be opening this bash rc configuration file. And we're doing that with the VI editor. I still get VI anxiety, so bear with me here. This is the VI editor here. And they're asking us, they're not asking us to do much. So, we're in the VI editor. It can be a little, or Vim, can be a little intimidating if you don't know what you're doing. Typically, you would just type I for insert and then just up, down to move around here. And then to get out of this, causes a lot of people anxiety. You do escape. I do I for insert. There we go. Escape. And then colon WQ. There, I did it successfully. Great. So we're done here. We need to answer this kind of knowledge question here. 3 basic ways to interact with the Google Cloud Shell, the Cloud Console, command line, and client libraries. Submit. And we did it. And we are done this lab. So hopefully this was useful to you. If you're interested in learning GCP, I would highly recommend getting started with this lab. It's actually a lot of fun, and it's really interesting getting to know the Cloud Shell and moving around it and making resources and learning the Gcloud command line. And learning the Gcloud commands are actually pretty essential to the exam, the Gcloud associate exam. So this is a good part of your studying if you're interested in taking that certification. So, okay friends, hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thanks for watching. Bye.